Hello everyone and welcome back to Whisky Wednesday. Today we're talking about another Irish whisky which is slightly celebrity related but kind of not at the same time, and it's the Peaky Blinders Irish Whisky. Now they do a gin, they do a rum, they do a moonshine which apparently is amazing at like 60% or something. I've not tried that yet, but we're just talking about the Irish whisky today. Triple distilled from the County of Cork, so it really means it can only be from Midleton, really. They do produce about 60% of all Ireland's whiskey, so it's from the same guys that brought you Jameson's and Redbreast and all that stuff. It's a blend, so it's malt and grain. I'm not sure if there's any pot still in it, there could be. I think it's a bit boozier than normal. Oh no, it's only 40%, so we're not kind of kicking in anything else. The idea with this is, obviously it's linked to the TV show. I stopped watching the TV show because an ex of mine is in season 2 and I feel kind of resentful when I watch it, so I just stopped watching it. Bit of a personal comment to throw in for all of you there. See if you can spot her and you might find out. But I've heard people love it, and most of it's filmed in, well, a lot of it is filmed in Manchester and kind of walk past sets and stuff. So it has a really cool relation to the whiskey in itself. But obviously it's not made by Cillian Murphy or anyone in there. It's just sporting the little kind of bowler hat, mustachio design of it all, and just linking in quite well for a TV show. I mean, the Game of Thrones whiskies went down an absolute storm. They sold out so quickly, so it makes sense for other TV shows to get involved with this. Like I say, it's not directly celebrity linked. There's not like a person's face on it who's very infamous or just basically famous, but it's just a nice tie-in for people who like the TV show. So I'm not too against this. I think it's fine. They make a big point of it having some sherry cask influence, which for a bottle of whiskey below 30 quid is pretty impressive, really. Just from smelling it alone in the room, there's a good bit of sherry just coming off the top of it. But we'll smell it, we'll taste it, we'll talk you through it. I don't have a flat cap or like a Peaky or anything, so unfortunately this one's a bit more of a straight up review. But let's smell it. It's pretty grain forward. You can smell the youth in it. We always describe it as like a green smell, kind of like tequila or agave. I wouldn't say it's that young. Obviously it needs to be at least 3 years old, but they're probably pushing that boundary, 3 and a bit, maybe 4. But ignoring that, there is some nice kind of brown sugar notes to it, kind of toffee, treacle. It's generically quite sweet and very approachable. We'll smell it one more time, then we'll taste it and we'll see what's going on. Yeah, I think it smells like most whiskies at its price range. A little bit young. You could use the word harsh. I don't think it's harsh, it just smells a bit young. But there's some really nice kind of light brown sugar, toffee, sherry notes kicking through it. But we'll taste it and then we'll see where the money is. First of all, it's genuinely not bad. It's not amazing, it's not mind-blowing, but I think at the price point you shouldn't expect it to be. But as far as affordable whiskey goes, it's genuinely not bad. It's like a slightly sweeter regular Jameson's. By all means, if we put 2 and 2 together, we normally get 4. It seems like it's produced by the people who make Jameson's, so the contents in terms of taste isn't going to be too far off. You do get the sherry. It's a nice light coating of sherry, kind of treacly, a little bit toffee-like. It's not particularly Christmas cakey or raisiny or anything like that. It's just a bit of sweetness to take an edge off that grain. As a rule of thumb, most affordable blended whiskies, £30 and below, are about 70% grain, 30% malt product. So I guarantee the sherry's been used just to counteract the intensity of grain, because when it's young it can be quite kind of industrial, plasticky and some off notes. But in terms of if you want something affordable and easy to drink, there's not particularly much wrong with this at all. Yeah, it's sweet. You'd mix it, you'd put ice in it, you could drink it neat if you want to, it's what it's designed for. But at just under £30 a bottle, I think we gave Jameson's, a regular bottle of Jameson's got like a 6.5, and I think Jameson's Crested got 7. We didn't score proper 12. But I think that's just like a 6. It's not offensive, it's not inoffensive, it's just like, this is what Irish whiskey, when it's affordable, typically tastes like. So we're going to give it a solid 6 out of 10. That's not a bad score. But if you've got all these expensive whiskies that you don't particularly want to drink and you just want like a cheap kind of beta whiskey, this is probably the one to go for, especially if you like the Irish stuff and you want to change from Jameson's or Bushmills. So yeah, that's Peaky Blinders whiskey. It's a 6 out of 10. Apologies for the lack of outfit for the video. But by all means, if you've got one, tell me what you think about it, and we'll see you all next week. Cheers.